All right, well, welcome back to Bremen Post 8972. We're super excited to get these guys on this podcast. So the idea of this episode is to get out to everybody what it means to not only be a part of the VFW, American Legion, the Sons of Legion, but also give everyone kind of our directions. I'm sure everybody's seen a lot of good changes going on at the Post. We've had a lot of questions. We've had a lot of, compliments, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. But we really did want to get the leaders of the three distinct organizations within this building. So just to let everybody know that it's not just the VFW. There are other organizations within this building that make this whole thing run. So here today, we have Eric, Commander of the Sons of the American Legion. We have Brian, who you guys always see his ugly mug, Commander of the Bremen VFW. And we got Jim, who's the Commander of the American Legion. So we'll just kick it off. You guys are good with it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
So Eric, tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of what led you to become a Commander of the Sons.
Well, I've been an American Legion, Sons of American Legion member for many years. I joined the VFW, or the Bremen Post, probably a year ago. I'd been involved in other posts over the years, and I believe in the organization. We're here to support veterans, whether you're VFW, American Legion, whichever. This organization is here for, to help support. If you are a son, if you had a grandfather, uncle, any of those things, you can be part of this organization.
So that's, yeah. I think we talked a little bit offline. Like, I didn't know the Sons of the American Legion existed until I joined the VFW. So that's actually, that's something I think people sometimes get into this. I need to have served in the military to be a part of that building, right, or that organization.
Right.
Your father served, or grandfather served.
Both of my grandfathers served in World War II, and I had a couple uncles that served in Vietnam.
Okay.
Cousins as well, but it's more the lineage for being, able to join the Sons of the Legion is uncles, grandfathers, great grandfathers, dads, any of those.
Basically, anybody in your family that has served, you can join the Sons of the
For the
Legion.
most part, yeah. For the most part, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So okay, there's one thing between joining the Sons, you're commander of the Sons.
Well, I was voted commander. I guess that's by default, right? So, I just, right. So I just, I just like to help out, and the other members felt it was appropriate to put me in that position, I guess.
Awesome. So then, Brian, Commander of VFW, after serving 20
from 90 to 2020, but about 23 years.
23 years. Decided you were not quite tired of getting beat over the head with a club.
Yeah.
So take over the commander of the VFW.
Just give me a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been almost 3 years now. So
yeah,
it's been a crazy ride, but continue making improvements here within the community and in the facility with the help of these two guys and the auxiliaries and everybody. So it's exciting to always see changes going on for the better, and it's long overdue. Mm-hmm. So it's always exciting, and we have a great team amongst us and all of our friends and the rest of the members to continually move forward with the facility and the things we do in the community.
And so if there's something you want, those vets out there sitting around in Bremen, Plymouth, all the surrounding areas, what do they need to know about the Bremen VFW? Like, what do they need to come in to become a member?
Well, to be part of the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, you had to serve in a foreign war. But it's a family-friendly place. It's non-smoking, so it's good for your health, and kids are allowed to be in the bar area to 9 o'clock at night. But yeah, you just have to serve in war. You have to bring in your documentation to prove, bring in your records, and then just sign up.
And for all the GWOT guys out there, I think it's our turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the club still has quite a few World War II guys, Korean guys, Vietnam guys.
Yeah, it's time to start. Well, we've been recruiting, but we need the younger veterans to start coming in and becoming a member and be more involved, because the older veterans they're getting older. So
right.
Yeah, the Vietnam veterans are getting pretty old. We still have a couple Korean War veterans, and my grandma's still a World War II veteran. So we need to get the younger crowd in here to start heading over the lawn. So
then Jim, American Legion commander. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
79 grad of Bremen. I served in the Naval Reserve from 81 to 87. Became involved here, close to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago, something like that. It's come a long way, and thanks to people like Brian and Eric and yourself. And it's just a team effort. We're here for the community, the veterans. It's been a fun ride. A lot of work, but it's fun work. And the people who come in here are just fantastic. We'll be swamped some nights.
Right.
And the atmosphere and the people just make it a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of fun.
that makes it work worth it for sure.
It does. It doesn't seem like work. It's just you just glad to be here.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun.
I had a lot of compliments yesterday at the celebration of life.
Yeah.
People that hadn't been here a long time, and to come and notice the changes that we've all helped do.
So, and then as the commander of the American Legion, so what is the Legion member? What does it take to become part of the American Legion?
You had to serve, and you weren't in an area of a foreign war or anything like that. So you served your country honorably, and you can become an American Legion member.
Beautiful thing, right?
You bet. It's a good thing.
Yeah. So all right. So I think we've hit on a couple things, and I do want to dive deeper in a couple of the stuff we talked about during the intro. So as far as kind of the three guys spearheading everything going on, like one of the things I hear a lot about is, I didn't know I could come in. I thought I had to be a member to come in. So, can we talk a little bit about, one, how easy it is to be a member of one of the three organizations? And not only that, but just because you're a member doesn't mean you need to be here every single day, every single meeting. Yeah, we would love if you come to the meetings and everything like that, but just supporting the place.
It's not a commitment.
Correct, yeah.
To an extent,
Yeah. So I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about, the common misconception of, I didn't know I was allowed in.
Well, there's one thing we didn't talk about. There's auxiliaries to each of the two organizations.
Correct, yeah.
There's
There's auxiliaries.
There's auxiliaries for
yeah.
the VFW, there's auxiliaries to the American Legion. So
Right.
it's not whether you were the veteran that did those two things or served or went to war. It's if your family member did, and you just have to provide those documents. So you can join and be a member that way too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you.
So it's not just veterans.
Yeah.
And they're always behind the scenes. Not always behind the scenes, but they do so much here.
The auxiliaries.
And they're always doing whatever it takes
Yeah, I think we
to
had 10 or
get
15
done
over
what
here
needs to be
yesterday.
done.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic people, and they just don't. I guess they're not recognized, or
Sure.
we try. We always
Right,
say
yeah, we
thank
always
you
try,
and everything,
yeah.
but it's just one of them things where they really work hard, and there again, it's fun for them as well as it is for us.
Right.
And to serve the community and the veterans It's just great. It's just a good place to be.
Yeah, so to kind of go back to what you're saying, like we have breakfast here from Tuesday through Saturday, and any person of any part of any community can come in here and have breakfast any time that we're open for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You don't have to be a member to come in and enjoy some great food.
Right. And you know, I think it's important to get over the stigma too of, oh, I got to be a member of the VF.
Yeah,
you know,
most
like
people
you just said, you don't have to be a member. You can come in. Please come in. You know, we have on the sign, open to the public.
Right.
You know.
Well, it's funny. Eric and I went to get some lumber for next project, and on Saturday, this past Saturday, and the people welcomed us in, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll help you. Whatever. You guys have done a great job with the facility." And like, well, can we come in there any time we want? We live at Lake of the Woods, and they've been here before, but they still didn't know that they could come in whenever they wanted to. So it is still trying to get that word out.
Absolutely.
And then it's not smoking too. People still think we smoke here.
Right.
And we
It's
haven't
all
smoked here.
non-smoking
Yeah,
now,
so it's a really clean, fresh environment.
Yeah. And then I think even on Eric's point, like when we were doing some of that stuff, what was it, Summer's End or Summerfest?
Summer's End.
Summer's End.
Uptown.
You know, passing out those flyers. Have you seen any recruitment numbers since then? Have you kind of?
Oh, I had a couple of people at that particular time that signed up, but it's been, you know, in this particular community, I don't think that the Sons of the Legion have been kind of at the forefront of doing some stuff. So, you know, I hope to change that. I think the Legion in general, you know, it's on the sign out front, but I don't think that a lot of people, you know, realize that there's a Legion here as well. So
Right.
if you're a member of a Legion or SAL, for any member anywhere, you know, you're more than welcome to come here as well. But I just don't think that a lot of people know or really know much about, you know, the Sons of the Legion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping to help change that.
Yeah, and this is part of it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
That's part of the reason we're sitting here today.
Yeah.
So.
But it's just getting out there in the public and being known like what we did at Summer's End. And I think in the future, between all organizations, we'll be out promoting it more and more. We'll have better displays.
Yeah.
And I think all these things are going forward slowly, but it's, that's $20 in it.
Yeah.
But we're slowly making that progress, and like we're working on getting banners for the SAL and American Legion, so when we do have those events,
Right.
we can be properly displayed and people ask questions.
Well, I think that's awesome too, because you know we don't. It is hard, and I try to put myself in somebody else's shoes that doesn't know anything about the VFW. They hear about this stuff, and they feel like it's kind of like, oh, something I can't really go to. So I think it's important. We got. I mean, there's the three commanders of the big organization said, "Yeah, come in, let's do it." So, and then again, there's a lot of things we're doing for the community that we have planned for the community to try to give back, because that's, at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal, right? Is to try to give back to the community, have a place for vets to come in. And, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we hear about, you know, whether you deployed overseas or you didn't, you went to war or you didn't, the stories that go on between vets here. And I mean, my goodness. So the stories that we've done, so like, you know, we had those big jackpots. Me and Eric still talk about, man, you remember this one time or this happened or that happened, or man, and it's just, I don't know, it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood that people from the community can come together. They unite for one common cause, and that's just to make this place better and make the community better. So I think it's very commendable that you three guys are here. Unfortunately, we couldn't have the auxiliaries here. As you can see, it's just kind of we're a little bit limited on space on our actual. We ain't no Joe Rogan, are we, man?
Not yet.
Yeah. But I mean, so I guess, you know, as far as the Sons of the Legion, this is an organization that I think is, so for anybody watching this, the Sons were instrumental in not only building the bar in the back, putting flooring down, doing the concrete around the outside, And I think it's an organization that probably doesn't get enough credit. So if you want to highlight some of the cool things that have been accomplished and what the Sons have been a part of, and I know I've seen a lot of them in the fish fries and everything. So
Well, you're right. We've been, we help do all of those things that you mentioned, and we are really here to support the veterans. I mean, that's what the Sons of Legion are. We are an organization that is, we are similar to the auxiliaries, where we are here to support, whatever cause the Legion, wants to move forward with, or any veteran as far as that goes. So it's kind of cool because this club is really unique, where we have a Legion and a VFW, and I don't know how many there are like that, but I don't think there's that many where both organizations share the same building, and
right.
So we get to do whatever there is to help with both organizations, along with other community events. There's opportunities to have a softball team or sponsor youth sports or all those kinds of things.
Right.
So the more we can increase membership and community involvement, there's a lot more opportunities for us to get more involvement. But
Right.
we're not quite there yet, but we're working on it.
Sure. And then for all three of you, so becoming a member of the Sons, becoming a member of the VF, becoming a member of the American Legion, that means you got to be here every single day, right? And you got to come to every single meeting, and you got to do every single event we ever have, right? That's what it means?
No, hell.
No. Yeah.
You do what you can. I mean, you don't put yourself out. It's just fun doing things, and if you enjoy, the big thing is you need to enjoy your extra activities that you do in your life, and if you're not enjoying it, then don't do it, type of thing. It's been enjoyable here. The people are fantastic, and all you need to do is come down and enjoy a conversation with somebody, and you'll find out pretty quick that this is kind of a neat place to do those extracurricular activities.
That's what makes it such a great place to volunteer at. Is the dynamics here between all of us. We all have the same goal, obviously. We always talk about what we want to do next and things like that. So not all of us have to be here all the time to accomplish what that is. Like the common goals known or it's been discussed. Like today, like Jim and his team was putting the window surrounds in, trimming out the windows. Like I don't have to be here for that.
Right.
So that's what I mean. We have a good bond and a good communication that we can figure out projects or whatever needs to happen. Just like fish fry, like, hey, we might need fish fry people tonight. So it's not just the VFW fish fry, it's all of ours fish fry. Same with the smelt dinner. So if you guys haven't heard, if you want to talk about the smelt dinner, but recently started in the last few months, the American Legion and the SAL are heading that up. So it's another opportunity for the community to come enjoy some great food for a great cause. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a great dynamic with the team involvement. You never know who might not show up or shows up, and you just figure it out, and
Right.
it works
Move
out
forward.
really well. Yeah.
So I guess it's just the Sons. We got to show up every single day to every single meeting, and it's going to absorb our entire life.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Anybody that joins any of the organizations and gets involved, whether it's just coming in and having dinner on a Wednesday night, you're supporting the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You don't have to be here for every meeting. Everybody appreciates it if you do.
Sure.
But you do what you can, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my situation and the time I have that I can spend here and do projects and stuff is different than it was 10 years ago. And it's the same way with anybody else. You have what you can do and what you can't do. I don't have, 4 kids under 10 years old at home right now that I have to make sure I'm there for. So I can spend more time in here and do those kinds of things. And but anybody so you have your 4 kids at home, you come in here on a Thursday night and have dinner. That's great. Just that's doing what you can, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great point. I think, like, hey, you you wouldn't even have to come to any meeting or even volunteer to come help, but just come and support the post by having dinner.
Come and have dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think that's a really overlooked thing, especially when people are thinking about, well, I'll join. They're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do all this, that, and the other. It's not like that. You know, and not only that, but even our bigger projects. So, I mean, my goodness, when we poured that concrete, what do we have? 20 guys out there?
Yeah,
There was a lot of people.
I mean,
probably a
there
third
was-
of them weren't even members. Probably more than a third.
Yeah. So it was just, you know, do what you can. Some of them lasted an hour. Some of them said, hey, I got an hour to kill. Some of them were here all day. Others were 2-3 hours, you know. And they didn't, you're not rained down or tied down to one.
Yeah, just do what you can.
Do what you can. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And every little bit helps. So.
and it becomes a sense
it
of
was
community.
fun.
And it was
a
fun.
lot
It
of
was a lot of fun.
It was really hard work, but it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun because of the people, the attitude,
Yeah.
the bonding.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a lot of fun.
It is one of the probably the biggest accomplishments that I feel that we've done here, besides deciding now. But
Right. That was a good one. That was and that come, I mean,
that was
even,
full of teamwork. Like that's probably the best teamwork I've seen happen here.
yeah, and that was from procuring the concrete to
All the way through.
setting up forms to pouring it to stripping to painting to stalk. I mean, everything.
30 yards.
Yeah, it was
32
it took
yards?
30, almost 35 yards.
35 yards.
One day, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty good
for a lot
for.
of volunteers to just jump in and
Yeah.
do what they can. You know, so.
There's probably a lot of contractors out there going, "Ah, pour 35 yards instead a day." For us, it was a heck of a job.
And it looks good.
Yeah, look, it come out
looks
pretty good.
real
Yeah.
So,
So, what else we got? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything we need to
I want
discuss and discuss?
I want people to know that how much, whether it's the VFW, American Legion, SAL, it gives back to the community. It's all derived from here, and we all put time and effort into this place. So no matter which organization actually hands over the money to the community, it's all inputted from all the organizations that are prior, not just the guys here, but the auxiliaries and anybody that helps make this place better. Even the people, the community that comes in here and buys food, that money ends up going back to the community, either with youth sports, Boys and Girls Club, the Children's Home in Michigan, or the homeless, the Veterans Homeless Center. I think it's Miller's up there in South Bend. We've donated to the Bremen Canine Unit. So whether it's him hand a check or him or me or the auxiliaries, it all comes from all of us being a big team. So it all comes from every organization in the end.
And the money spent here stays within this community. I mean, obviously we do, like you were saying, the South Bend Homeless Veteran Association, or, you know, that stuff like that. But we do a significant amount back into this community.
Yeah, we just recently did a Desert Storm veteran. She isn't doing too well, and I think she has cancer, and then the daughter or one of her kids is bad off. And I think between all 5 organizations, I think we all gave $100 something. It was $5 something or $600.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't know if we end up giving her some food too, but that's what it's about, is taking care of the veterans and their families and things like that. So, like that stuff doesn't get publicized, but it happens all the time.
Yeah. And that's because of the people that do come in. We're not, and nothing to bag on McDonald's or Dairy Queens or nothing like that. They're fine establishments. But when you come in and you get a meal here, you get a nice sit-down meal with good people, friendly people, and the money you're spending here is going back into the place you
Right.
live. So
yeah, we're all volunteers.
yeah, and we're all volunteers. Yes,
It's a non-for-profit
Yeah,
organization.
not-for-profit
There's-
organization, yeah.
Nobody's making money here. Nobody's getting rich off any of this.
Right,
We're all
yeah.
volunteers.
Yeah.
We're all just being a part of the community and helping out where we can.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why some of the progress here has been significant, but it kind of goes slow too, because we
Sure.
have to take what we can, and
Yeah.
this is all based on how we're supported.
yeah. And we rely on donations. We rely on all these other things. So yeah. How about the Suns? Anything else you want to say about the Suns?
I would just say that if you're eligible, or if you think you're eligible, come and ask, because
Yeah.
for the most part, a lot of people are, and not just the Suns, but the auxiliary for it, the Legion as well. we were probably one of the least exclusive groups when it comes to membership. If you had a family member that served, that's kind of what it takes. And we'd love to see you in here. We'd love to increase our membership. We'd love to be a bigger part of this community and have more involvement. So,
How about the American Legion?
Pretty much the same thing. We need members to have input, or you don't have to be a member to come in and enjoy the place. If you've served your country, we'd love to have you, whether you served in a war or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a phenomenal ride here, as far as working with people, from the lowest lows to the. We're pretty high right now because it's really a good fun place.
Yeah.
And it's it'd be nice to have more members.
Yeah.
The big thing is for you to come and join us.
Yeah.
Just sit down and yak. It's a good place to have a good conversation.
And to go along with that, just getting members to come in here, and if you're involved, it's just, the team can only do so much, but with the more members you have, the more smarts you have. Like Eric's carpenter, Jim drives truck, but he knows how to operate machinery. You own and operate machinery. I really don't do anything except yell at people. But the more
We need that too.
the bigger the motivation. Yeah,
That may be the thing we need the most.
I'm a motivational speaker. Right?
Somebody's got to crack the whip.
But the more people you have, the bigger background you have. Like, for instance, we just had a sign donated from a street department that's not Bremen, and nothing bad about Bremen. I just want people to know that.
Right. Yeah.
And it was for a parking sign. And so when you build your membership, you have more people to pick their brains on ideas on how to do stuff. Like, so we're going to be doing asphalt out here, and that member's an excellent. There's a lot of stuff with asphalt. He can do it and has resources. So the bigger membership pool we have, the better opportunities we have to pick the professionals.
And man, I'd say nail on the head right there, because we pull from all of these organizations. Today it's fortunate enough to have you three here, but there's also 2 auxiliaries that we pull from that does all the when we have like funeral dinners, stuff like that. Auxiliaries are heavily involved in that.
Well, all the lighting came from auxiliary.
Yeah, all the lighting came from
So
auxiliaries.
that's just one small example.
Yeah. So, and I think it's so cool that you mentioned, it's such a large pool that we can pull from, because when you come here and when you become a member of any of these great organizations, you're not just a guy or a gal sitting there. Your input is valued.
Yes,
it's cared about. My goodness, we could never do any of this stuff without everybody's input, and the disagreements, the agreements, all that stuff makes us better.
Right.
So
you're only as good as your team.
Yep. So, well, guys, if there's
we make mistakes.
Yeah.
But, we have enough people here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to correct it.
Yeah.
We're going to go on from here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for spending time today with us, and man, I can't wait. Just on a personal note, the 3 of you guys have led your organizations in a way that I am very confident, speaking on behalf of the people that are in your organizations, that we are proud to be here. We thank you for all the time you've put into this place. We thank you for giving us direction. We thank you for making us proud to be members at this place in this community. So,
appreciate it.
all you commanders, you deserve a lot of respect for the time and effort that you put into the place.
Thanks for doing these, Brandon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else?
This is interesting. It really is.